So the meeting is called to order. It's 9:04. And we have Melinda, Tim, Doreen, Jane, Julie, Teresa, and Joe, and myself. And we have Danelle and Alicia. Is that everybody?
And Sharon.
Where are you, Sharon?
Sharon, you're mute, I think.
So our first order of business is to approve the minutes of our last meeting, which was December 10th, 2019.
I make a motion to accept the minutes of the last meeting.
And who's that?
Wait,
Doreen?
I have a suggestion that I made a mistake. On the last page, I announced the next board meeting as Tuesday, March 10th, 2019.
Yeah.
My brain just had a power surge. It should have been March 10th, 2020, not 2019. So
okay.
we need one correction,
Okay.
Doreen.
Okay,
Sorry.
we never had that meeting, did we?
No.
No,
No.
it was canceled.
Okay.
Do we have a second? Another second?
I'll second it.
And who's that?
Jane.
Any opposed? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So what we need next is the director's report, and Danelle is our interim director.
I'm not really sure how this meeting was run before, so I'm not really sure what to expect of a director's report other than just letting you know and keeping you updated as to what we're doing. Is that typically?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so I think as you all know, we're still open. Well, we're shut, the doors are shut, but we are here open to the public from 8 to 4, 5 days a week. We still have one employee that is partially furloughed. Everybody else is as usual. We are still continuing with the Meals on Wheels program and the in-house, the congregate program, which actually now is a curbside pickup. We're still doing that 3 days a week. So it's just Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So that is ongoing. And I even expect that if we do go into some type of a shutdown, that we are probably going to still continue to at least do the meal portion of the program for those people out in the community, especially Meals on Wheels. We have been working on social events, of course, with guidance from the health department, et cetera, and the governor. I think, Alicia, I'll let you kind of go and talk about most of the activities that we've been doing because that you have a better handle on that. We are still doing mobile pantry. So we are delivering to people out in the community who are not able to go shopping. We have had some families who do have COVID and were recommended to see us or seek us as a resource for food. So we have been able to deliver food to their front steps, which has been great. And I'm glad that they're taking it seriously and not going out into the community while under quarantine. We're also still doing the emergency food pantry pickups by appointment only. Mostly everything that we're doing here is by appointment only. So it's kind of a little bit of a different situation now. We're actually almost have like a menu and we talk to people, we kind of get the things that they want and we're actually packing bags specifically for those people and bringing it out. Again, We have a table that's set up outside. We're putting bags out there. People can, be socially distanced and pick it up and be on their way. As the Director of Community Service, I am still seeing people as far as fuel assistance. We have the meeting outside, but we have been given permission to meet inside as long as we're 6 feet apart. And the custodian has been cleaning everything down as we've been going along after our appointments. Been doing a lot of applications on the computer, over the phone, online. So any way that we can get it done, we're trying to meet the needs of the community and keeping everybody up and going. I do have a big concern. Sorry. I do have a big concern about the outcome once all this is done and over with, hopefully soon, in regards to people's seniors' mental status. So we may be seeing and having to address some of those issues as we move forward. Transportation is still up and running. We're only able to take one person still per van. So we are in the process right now of getting quotes on putting plexiglass in the vans that do not have it to protect the drivers, etc. We're also looking at other alternate ways. We have a meeting today to see what the drivers feel that could be done to make them feel more protected, as well as the passengers. So I don't know, I guess that's it in a nutshell. Like I said, I'll let Alicia talk to you more about the new and upcoming activities that we have going on. Is there anything or any questions that you have of me that I'm not addressing?
My only question would be the fact that we don't have the nurse on board anymore, and
Right.
what the short-term goals are for that.
My understanding prior to, me actually taking over as the interim is that that position has been eliminated and it will no longer be filled. The role that Lisa had as, as far as instructions for the Tai Chi, for the Bosu, I believe it was put into play that we are going to be seeking alternate instructors outside of the Council on Aging.
Now, just a couple of questions.
Yep.
As far as the Meals on Wheels, once the pandemic started, did you find we had a big increase in Meals on Wheel participants?
I think initially when we had when people were really feeling the impact of the COVID and what it was doing and nobody was going out, yes, we did. But that has kind of lightened up a little bit. I am seeing a few increases now. I have another intake on my desk that I have to do after we're done here. But it seems to be the same individuals living alone, people who have compromised immune system, yes.
Okay.
But it's kind of leveled out a little bit at this time. And
Now,
our congregate or the curbside, we've capped that at 25. We're doing, I think, 30 on Wednesday because of, I think of the meal itself is we're able to do that. But we just don't have another staff person in that kitchen that we really need our volunteers back. But of course, it's, most of them are seniors, so it's difficult to get them back in here.
Now, we were talking about the mental health of the seniors. Have you had anybody in crisis or anything along those lines?
No, but I can see the COVID fatigue. I can definitely see the fatigue from this. I can see people who are kind of done with it. I see even in my own family, I mean, even people who are, especially people who are taking care of a family member or a spouse, the caretaker is really having a little bit difficult time, I see, at this moment. And they don't want to bring extra people into the home due to the COVID. So, it's being very difficult on them. I know it's a struggle. We just have to keep on trying to, just egg them on, for lack of a better word, that there is going to be an end to this, to keep people hopefully involved. Alicia will tell you about some of the things that we have coming up to maybe get people out, just to be in their cars and to get out socially and see other people. I think that's what they need to do, is just get out of their routines. Right now, they're doing stop watching TV,
Oh,
first of all,
yeah.
you know. So what Alicia's going to tell you a little bit later on is that we are working on a TV monthly series, and we're hoping to address some of those issues in that program. And again, it'll be another way for seniors in the community to be connected with us. So we're hoping.
Danelle,
Yes.
I have one question. With transportation, you take one person
Mm-hmm.
on the bus, and what happens after? Do you have to clean the bus?
Well, everybody,
Before you pick
our drivers are equipped with a bag that they pick up in the morning before they
Mhm.
go out. There's extra masks in there. There's hand sanitizer. There is a spray that they leave down. Actually, when they're done at the end of the day, there's a special spray that we put down that they spray the entire bus down, and you have to let it sit. It is what was given to us to clean our facility here. So yes, the drivers are equipped. They're wearing face shields. They have masks. And again, most of the vans, I think 3 of the 4 vans have the plexiglass. We're just trying to retrofit one other one, hopefully, and try to seek any other alternate ways that we can make it safer for the riders. But there's just not enough room in there to socially distance 6 feet. And you know, we've tried it numerous ways. We thought we could put plexiglass behind the seats, but the seats are tilted, and then there's no grab bar for a senior to, you know, get up safely. So there's all these little things that are just making it very difficult for us.
Okay.
That's what our health department, you know, has recommended. So yeah.
And
Thank you, Janelle.
why did they do away with the nurse's position?
Well, I know she was retiring, and I don't know, honestly. That was a decision that Carolyn had made prior to me. Yeah. I mean, I don't know, Alicia, maybe you have a little more insight on that.
Yeah, I know Carolyn had said that most senior centers don't have a position specifically for a nurse. So Lisa's role here was more so as a fitness instructor. Being a nurse came in handy because if somebody was experiencing some health problem or all of a sudden here needed an ambulance, she was awesome to come in and help with that. But I know because that's not a position that's required of every senior center, that was what had gone into that decision.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Janelle. So next would be Alicia's report.
Yeah, so we have over when it was warmer out, we did start a few outdoor programs. We had line dancing going and Tai Chi going. We started yoga at Brownstone, which has been great. And again, those are all from outside instructors. Now that it's getting colder, they are still meeting, but we're probably not going to be able to meet for a few more weeks. But I know everybody has loved it. There is a health screening that they all have to do every time that they meet. They have to sign in. We get that sign-in list. And then, yeah, it's been going really well. We did try online programming when the shutdown first started, and it wasn't a huge success. Part of that, I think, had to do with our advertising. Our advertising wasn't the greatest because we weren't doing our newsletter because everything had shut down. And then when we just, because things were changing, it seemed like every 5 minutes it was hard for us to put information in our newsletter. Now that things have kind of calmed down a bit, we're definitely getting back to a good flow of what needs to go in there. So November's was pretty full. December's is very full. Now again, that colder months are coming. I am going to try online programming again, but this time we're going to have it advertised better. The first thing we're going to start is a tea and trivia in December. We're going to do it for 3 weeks, and it'll be trivia on Zoom just like this. And we'll see how that goes. I am starting, Leah is helping me with an e-newsletter. Again, just to see what seniors in our community are comfortable going online, are comfortable doing programs through Zoom or any other, whether it's Facebook Live or any other online format. I just want to see who is interested in that. So we're going to have an e-newsletter go out to those people to start reminding them with Zoom links and of different events and programs coming up. It'll probably be slow to start with because it usually takes a couple months before it's in our newsletter to email Leah if they want that e-newsletter for more information. So we'll probably have a few trickle in here and there. And then for other programs we have going on in December, Danelle and I have talked about doing a Christmas parade. We did a parade back in, oh goodness, it was probably like May or June. We just went to the housing and did a little drive-through parade with police and fire and the EMT, and everybody loved it. And I know they've been asking for another one, so we were thinking of doing a Christmas one. And when we did it, again, we had so many phone calls just thanking us for doing that. So we were thinking of doing that again, just to uplift their spirits. We are going to be doing a drive-through hot cocoa, a grab-and-go hot cocoa and cookies event. We're doing that with the rec department in December. And again, it's just people have to register for it. They can drive through, they can get a cup of hot chocolate, they can get prepackaged cookies. We're going to have Santa Claus out there. So that'll be a fun event. Again, just a way to get people out and get the Christmas feeling going. We are working with different agencies in town. We're working with Care One, East Village Place, The Reserve, and Bluebird Estates for something that we have called the Jingle Jaunt, and it's going to be through December 1st through December 18th, and we're going to decorate our buildings. We're going to be decorating our gazebo, and then people in town, it's all ages, can drive through. They can call in or email in their votes. There's going to be prizes. So the community has definitely been working together, which has been awesome. Again, when this all first started, we weren't really, because nobody could do anything with each other. But now that we're all getting into a flow, we've been able to work with our sponsors in our community a lot, which has been just really good. We just had our Veterans Drive-In ceremony last Tuesday. It went great. That was our first time doing a drive-in event where everybody stayed in their cars, and they were spaced out. And we had Representative Ash was here. Mary McNally, our town manager, came, and we just had great feedback from that. Noah List was here, and again, we had about 6-7 sponsors that helped us with that event. So we've definitely been able to, do what we can, which has been great. We did buy a radio transmitter for events such as that, so that even in the colder months, again in December, we're going to be doing a drive-in Christmas bingo. Everybody can stay in their cars, they can stay warm. I'll be able to announce bingo from inside the building with our transmitter. So we're definitely trying what we can to do in-person events, such as drive-in events, and then online too, just to try to get everybody that we can. And it's been great too, because the senior centers are working together. I know I've been involved with a lot of Zoom meetings, Danelle has too. But I've been in touch with a lot of the activities coordinators of other senior centers just to see what they're doing. They're seeing what we're doing. It's been really good just to brainstorm ideas, because even with those drive-in events and the online events, there's still a big portion of seniors that we're not reaching. So again, just trying to brainstorm how we can reach everybody. Another thing that we are working on, or that I'm working on, Leah's been helping me with, is just updating our volunteer policies and procedures. Danelle and I and Steve, we're working with our health department because we're trying to get volunteer trainings in place. For example, with our kitchen, we want to now onboard volunteers when they sign on. There's going to be an initial training for them. There'll be training videos. And then we're going to have a yearly training that the health department is going to do for the volunteers and the kitchen staff. Again, just to make sure that we're all on top of everything, especially with COVID here. That kind of brings on a whole other element of training, but just to make sure that we're top notch and that we're just running smoothly. So yeah, that's a lot of what, as far as volunteer and programs, that's what's been going on here.
I have a couple of things just to add, and Alicia, these are probably because it's more my end than your end, but we are going to do the jingle bags again this year for our Meals on Wheels recipients. So Merrill Lee is here in the office. She's going to be working with Care One to get some the jingle bags together, which are bags that we deliver to all the people who are on Meals on Wheels, just to kind of get a little gift and something nice and fun for the holidays. We are also going to be doing a Christmas gift giving program, the First Congregational Church this year, rather than put tags of individuals in their needs, no names of course, on the Christmas tree at church. They're going to be providing us with gift cards, and we're going to be purchasing items for the families that are in need in town. We're also doing the Christmas dinners. We just received some gift cards that we're going to be using to purchase turkeys and the fixings for families. They can come pick up like the box and bring it home, and they would have it. And these are for more of our pantry participants or anybody else in town who is in need. And we have been working with, is it 2 guys catering, 3 guys catering? I'm sorry, Rich Ficero.
3 guys catering.
3 guys, okay. At the Legion, right?
Yeah.
They
Knights of Columbus.
Knights of Columbus. Thank you. Why do I get them all mixed up? But they are going to be providing cooked meals for people on a drive-through basis, is my understanding. And we're hoping that they are going to allow me or a staff person to go pick up a group of them, maybe 10 or so, to deliver to people out in the community who don't have family or support in the area. So that's something a little different that we've not really done in the past, but we're hoping that that will work for us this year. And again, we don't want to see anybody home alone, no family, no contact. So that's what we're trying to avoid. So sorry, that's my little blurb.
No, it's good. And I did want to bring up too, I think this is, I don't see it anywhere else on our agenda, so I'll bring it up now. But I know Danelle and I had been talking. I know even before, I think our last board meeting, we had all discussed just different ways that our board, that you guys can just be involved. And so we actually have just been trying to brainstorm different ideas, and we're working on just our ideas for what you all could help us with, just for what our needs are that we can think of. So once I have this finished, I'll be sending it to all of you. And please, if there's anything else that any of you can think of, we would love to hear from that. But just as an idea, I'll just kind of tell you what I have on there right now. But we were just thinking, like, you know, if you guys would be so great to help us with grants, with like researching grants, with writing grants, working with our sponsors, whether it's for an event or a COA need or a program need, just working with them for what our needs are. Again, with programs and events, just if you hear of events or programs that you think would be so good for our community, letting me know about that and helping me with just brainstorming that, implementing that. And again, just with, you know, just different miscellaneous stuff, just with like policies, procedures, whether it's for a volunteer program or in like a physical program that we have. So those are just some of the ideas that we're starting to throw out there. We really would love to just work really close with you guys, have you work really close with us, especially now that we don't have as big of a staff as we did. And again, just with COVID, we're just having different needs arise that weren't there before. And so again, those are just some of the ideas we're thinking of. I will definitely email this out to everybody and just would love your feedback on it. And just any other ideas that you all have.
Could you answer one question for me? How is the newsletter being distributed?
So it's being distributed as it was before COVID. So we are sending it out through the reminder, and then
I'm not getting it with my reminder.
oh, it's going in the reminder, isn't it?
It's definitely going in the reminder, and I'm hand delivering to all the housing communities. So what is your, well, we could talk later, Barbara. Send me your address. I probably have it here, but I can check with the reminder.
Well, and I'll, you know, I'm not, it goes out the 3rd week of the month?
It usually goes out, okay.
No, I was just gonna say, I know it depends because sometimes with holidays it gets messed up. I think Mary Lee tries to send it out the 3rd or 4th week, right, Danelle?
It's actually being printed now. So as soon as we get it, once it gets back from the printer, it usually goes out, it should go out like next week. But obviously the holiday is on a Thursday, with Thursday, Friday, so it may not go out till the following week. You know, the problem with that is that, so if our deadline is like on the 12th, I mean, we're still scrambling and putting ideas together and formulating things. The deadline is so early, it's,
Right.
you know, and like, I'm looking at the calendar now, it's gonna fall on a holiday, so it probably won't go out to the beginning of December. That first
Right,
week.
which makes it difficult for people to be able to sign up for meals.
Well, right, and we are handing out the newsletter to people who are
Right.
coming through the drive-through, so we know, and then the people who are, you know, involved in Meals on Wheels, they're available to them. Housings go out earlier, probably earlier than anybody, because I just bring a stack over to all the units, all the communities.
Yeah, I just noticed that
It's
I've been
online.
getting it this year, and I'll get in touch with you, Danelle, afterwards.
Yes,
Does anyone else have that problem?
Oh, we get it.
I haven't heard too many people.
All right, so thank you very much, Alicia, and we need to move into any committee reports.
Well, I can, with AAA, we have been doing Zoom meetings, and no, I think we did one not last month, but the month before, and a lot of the conversation centered around the grab and go that is Greater Springfield Senior Center is providing to the senior centers. That's where they, you know, people can come and, as we do with our curbside, they can pick up a meal. I think theirs is like $2. And people were just saying that was really working very, very well. And I think because, like Janelle said, we can't do that many because we have a lack of kitchen staff. I know Hamden was saying they were doing like over 100 every day.
But they don't, do they not produce their meals there, though? They get their.
No, that's what I said. It's
Okay.
through Greater Springfield. But as Danelle and I were talking about it, because Becky from Hamden was saying that they were seeing a lot of new people that they didn't normally see when the center was open. But like Danelle said, a lot of the people would go get the meals there when they weren't available through us on the Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and they would go there on Tuesdays and Thursdays or whatever the date they had. So I think that's probably true of why they were having such a high volume. But I will, after your comment, Alicia, about what is everybody doing or what other things we could be doing, I will take more note of what all the other seniors are doing, because they are sharing different things they might be trying with the pandemic and how those are working out. So I'll take a better note of the suggestions people are making.
That would be great. Thank you.
Okay.
So for Greater Springfield Senior Services, we still have our monthly meetings, Zoom. And the grant went out for Greater Springfield. And what they're going to initiate a training for all the staff supervisors and to make them certified in dementia care. So they're going to start monthly meetings. They haven't started them yet. By Anna Randall is going to be doing that. And the governor proposed the budget for 2021, and he did make increases for geriatric mental health and home care services. But he cut funding slightly for protective services and the nutrition program.
So will that affect us, the nutrition program? Will we be getting less money?
I thought that was level funded, no? For the Title III?
Pardon?
Are we talking about the Title III?
No, this is the overall budget. You still get your
Right.
grant. So it won't affect
Right.
the senior center.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
And has there been any emergency planning, Lynn?
Are you talking
Linda?
to people? Oh.
No, Melinda, I don't know where I don't see.
I'm here.
Okay.
I heard through, I think, Alicia, that Danelle would be taking my place at the emergency planning meeting. I was unable to attend.
I did attend the last emergency planning meeting. I didn't know what to expect. I had no preconceived ideas when I went there. It was kind of just a update. I don't have those notes in front of me at this moment, though. I'm sorry, I wasn't.
Usually, there's very little action that pertains directly to the Council on Aging, but it is very informational. I thought it was a Zoom meeting, but I could be wrong.
It was.
Yeah,
We
okay.
talked a lot of PPE and about how to get more PPE, and I think that there was a couple of grants. This is all just from memory. I don't have it in front of me. Fire and police were going to be utilizing to get some additional PPE for their staff. But I don't believe there was a lot of it that was pertaining to me.
Right. Do you
Exactly.
happen to know when the next meeting is? They're quarterly meetings, and I'd like to mark my calendar to avoid it.
I don't. I can let you know. Again, that was
Sure.
quite some time ago.
Yeah, I know. They're
Yeah.
only quarterly meetings, and so much is going on every day that it's hard to keep track of things. Thanks, Danelle. Appreciate it.
My
You
pleasure.
know, I have a question.
Mhm.
With your Meals on Wheels program, your drop-off meals, are you notified right away if one of the seniors has the COVID?
Am I notified by emergency personnel? Is that what you're
Yeah,
asking me?
The Department of Public Health.
No. That's
They don't tell
confidential
you.
information. We are to assume that everybody has COVID.
Okay,
There's no, they can't really give that information out unless it would directly affect us in our building. But like I said, we are directed to let and tell everybody to assume everybody has it, protect yourself, protect the people that you're with.
okay.
I have one more committee report. I've been attending the East Long Meadow Master Planning housing element. The town is developing a new master plan, and I've been working with the housing element part of the master plan. And I will probably reach out to each of you individually to get some feedback from you before our next meeting, which I don't believe has been scheduled as yet. And that being said, I'd like to move into new business. Everyone got a copy of the bylaws that we know about, and they obviously need to be updated. And I'd be willing to work with a couple of members of the board, probably just through email. And if anyone is interested, please let me know. I just need a couple of people, and it doesn't look like we have a lot to do, but there is some updating, and we need to work on the process for getting them not only reviewed but approved. And the next thing we need to talk about is the fact that we really haven't had a reorganization in quite a while, and we need to figure out how to make that happen. And I'd be interested in anybody's thoughts on that. We certainly need to have an election And I'm just interested in how people feel about that and when they think it would be reasonable to do that.
I mean, a reorganization of the board, Barb?
Right, so they have an election of, the chair and the secretary. For the time being, Jane has agreed to work with me on the minutes. And, but I think we need to have an official election and reorganization of the board in terms of understanding from the bylaws, we're supposed to have 6 people over the age of 60
Mhm.
and another 4 people for a total of 10, which is not how we are at the moment. So,
Now, who are our officers right at the present time?
well, I've been the chair for too long.
Okay.
I don't even remember when I was elected. And Melinda had been our secretary. And at one point, I thought that Doreen was the coach, they weren't a co-chair, but whatever.
Vice chair?
Vice chair.
Yeah, no, I hadn't been vice chair.
So that's what I'm saying. It's difficult to without doing a lot of research, and I do mean years of research, to try and sort that out. So one of the things in the bylaws that clearly we don't need is a corresponding secretary unless things change dramatically.
I don't think we've had that for a long time.
Right, but it's in the bylaws, and that would be one of my, suggestions, to just update it to what is actually happening.
What is the difference between the secretary and the corresponding secretary?
Well, the corresponding secretary would do letters out to people,
Okay.
thank you notes, that kind of thing, any kind of correspondence that we wanted to have with people. And it's just simply not something that this board has done, at least not as long as I've been on it.
No, I don't remember having that from the get-go, really.
I mean, that
So
sounds like
presently,
something
we
from the
don't have a vice chair right now.
We don't have a secretary, and truly, by the bylaws, I've well overstayed my time as the chair.
Yeah, we used to, I know when I was chair, we just did it for twice. We went
Right,
and I think that's what Tim did too.
right.
So
So that's why I'm saying we need to have a plan on how to go about, having a nominating committee.
Mhm.
Barbara, how many board members presently do we have?
1, 2,
8, maybe?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
8.
So the only position here that I'm looking at that's open is the vice chair, and then we would need one other board
Well,
member.
no, we Melinda had resigned from that position as secretary, so I wouldn't consider her. And I'm just saying, as a chair, it's time to have an official vote and, a reorganization. So we don't have a vice chair. We don't have an official secretary. I asked Jane if she would fill in. And I felt that it was time to get a sense of what the group wanted.
So do you think the first thing that should be addressed is updating current bylaws and then having a reorganization?
Yes,
Right? Because that way you'll know exactly what you're looking at as far as board members,
right.
titles, etc.
Have we heard anything from the town council or from the town manager about a permanent director yet, or when we could expect, when they're going to make an announcement about who that would be?
I just spoke with Elaine Grimaldi yesterday in Human Resources, and they are actually doing interviewing on Friday.
Oh, they are.
So they do have a few candidates that they would like to interview, and they're going to be doing that Friday. And then we have, I'm kind of repeating, and then we have a holiday week next week. And then, so it's probably going to be at least another month before somebody else or, you know, is in that position. Or
So they'll make a decision by December sometime.
I'm hoping. Yes. But my thoughts was to, and I'm so happy that you were all here today and getting this all together, was to have this all organized for whatever or whoever.
Yeah.
You know, because you guys are a vital part, I believe, of the COA. And again, as Alicia said, it's just going to be so awesome to be able to work more closely with you guys. So that's the plan.
Barbara, just a question. As far as being chair of the committee of our board, have you been invited at all to be part of any of this interviewing process with the new
No.
director or the direct candidates?
No.
Nothing.
Yes, that's a good question, Doreen, because we should be involved.
I agree.
And the bylaws, which I have no idea if the bylaws were ever approved. The bylaws, I believe the bylaws say something like that.
Right.
Something I read this morning said something like that.
I don't know if there's anything we can do at this process, at this point in time about you having some involvement as the
Well,
chair.
it seems to me that the town manager did seem to, maybe Alicia has some information, because she did nominate people to get on the board. And those letters came from her office.
Who was that,
And
Barbara?
I think Alicia, you had been in touch with me based on information you had gotten from the town manager.
I was actually working, Sharon, you might be able to talk more about this. I know Sharon was working pretty close with the town manager's office about what needed to get, just what as far as the board, what needed to be done, like if everybody was sworn in, if everybody had the letters that they needed to be on the board. So I was actually kind of working through Sharon, and Sharon was the one.
So Sharon, would you like to let us know what the process was?
Yeah, I know the town would send out the appointment certificate. A letter of intention had to be sent to the town first, and then they would send out the appointment certificate, which the town manager signed, and then whoever was going to do it signed it and returned it back to the town. And it looks like I received everyone's, except I'm still waiting for Teresa Moylan's.
Yep. I just can't seem to connect with the town manager. I'll try again.
Okay. Yeah, I think everyone else's, we got all updated. We got all of them back. So yeah, yours was the only one that we're still waiting on. And then I'm sure they'll sign you in, once they get that
So
paperwork.
who was your contact in the town manager's office?
Jennifer Kerr.
Is there a way we could send a letter to the town manager saying at this board meeting that we would like to have some involvement with the interview process for the new director?
Yeah, you could probably email Jennifer Kerr. That's Mary McNally's secretary.
Or possibly Elaine Grimaldi, would you think, from Human Resources?
Oh, maybe Elaine too. Yep.
He's
could
the
do-
one that's doing and setting up the interviews.
Yeah, so yeah, either of them.
In the
Sharon, could you send me their emails?
Yes.
And the town actually reached out to us. They were trying to clean up all of the boards for all of the departments. And they were trying to get a better handle on it while they're kind of shut down mode. You know, this is the best time to get all this stuff organized. So they actually reached out to us. They do have a copy of our bylaws.
Right.
They do have a copy of, I believe, the board members and all the information that Sharon had just mentioned as well.
Yeah. Barbara, what is your email address?
It's bjfarrell73@charter.net.
So Barb, am I getting the impression that you'll follow up on that?
I will.
Okay.
And I would appreciate it if one or two of you would review those bylaws and contact me with any changes that you think we might want to look at.
I'll be
All
glad to.
right, Barbara, I'll help you.
I mean, we all have the copy, and you know, it's pretty clear. I need to find out if the town manager is the replacement in the bylaws for the previous selectman,
Mhm.
or whether it's the town council. I don't know the answer, but I will ask that question also.
So I'll help out, Barbara, if you'd like me to.
Great. If you just review them and just number what you think changes or ideas for changing.
Okay.
I'll take a look at it too, Barbara.
Okay, so I'm going to expect to hear from Doreen, Melinda, and
Teresa.
Teresa. Thanks.
I'll help too if you'd like.
Jane,
Yes.
I'll be in touch with you today so we can get the minutes together.
Okay.
The next thing under new business was A Pleasant View, the episode. Is that Alicia or Danelle?
Kind of talked a little bit about that already, but just so you all know, we have already set the first episode debut, which is going to be on December 16th at 11 a.m. and then again at night at 7 p.m. So
And is that on the town
it's on LCAT and it's
LCAT?
191, I believe. And we're working really closely with Don, Mackey, and Jamie, who have some fantastic ideas. And we want it to be a lot of fun, and we want it to be entertaining but informative. So, and we also want to bring in the town, not just seniors. We're going to be hopefully utilizing some youth in the program as well. So it should be fun. So check it out.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
And have we already addressed the COVID issues and concerns?
Does anybody, I mean, I have been holding weekly meetings with our staff every Thursday at 1. And we have been addressing any issues or concerns that staff here have. Is there anything that anybody else here has? Julie, Joe, as like Meals on Wheels drivers, are there any concerns or anything that you think that you need in order to feel safe or be safe or et cetera?
No, I think, yeah, go ahead, Joe.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, it's been fine.
good. And I
Safe
know
on
that,
both ends. Seniors have been safe as well.
Yeah, everybody comes to the door with masks.
Yeah.
They're not, everybody's trying to do their best to be safe.
Yeah.
great. And so what we're doing now, just for all of you who don't know, we are actually bringing the coolers out to the drivers' vehicles so that they don't even have to get out of their cars. So there's really no one-on-one contact with us and them. That's how we're supposed to be doing it. If they want us to put it in their car, we certainly can do that. If they want to get out of their car once we've stepped away, they can get out of their car and put the coolers in their vehicles. But again, we're just trying to eliminate as much exposure as possible.
So you're saying the staff in the kitchen brings the coolers out to people's cars?
It's usually Sandy Bell, who is and was the coordinator of the meal site program. And also Marilee or Leah, they would go out and assist. So they're just basically we have 4 routes now. So as opposed to the 3 typical routes that we've had, we have 4 routes. So they're bringing out a cooler of hot food. They're bringing out a cooler of cold food, milk, dessert, etc. And then they're also bringing out a frozen meal. We're doing that. Are we doing that Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays? All 3 days, correct?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
So, they have quite a bit to handle in their cars, but like I said, we're just trying to minimize exposure. We're trying to keep them in their cars, masked. If they got, again, all the same protocol that we're following.
Okay, well, we're running out of time here, and I'd like to suggest that we meet again in December. And I apologize, I have not looked at the calendar.
December 15th would be a Tuesday.
That
I know
sounds
we're
good.
doing jingle bags the 16th, 17th, 18th. I don't know when or what times, but those days might be a little busy right before the holiday week.
So the 15th at 9 o'clock for our December meeting, is that agreeable?
Yes, for me.
Yes,
I can't.
It
just
is.
have an appointment, doctor's appointment.
Who's that?
Jane.
Jane?
Yes. Would it be just an hour?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. I can do it then. Okay.
Okay. So we'll plan to meet again, and in the meantime, I will approach regarding the assisting with any interviewing, and I will contact each of you to see if anyone's interested in participating with me in a nominating committee. And we'll work on the bylaws, and I'll also try to get a sense of what the bylaws approval process is now that the town is operating with a town council. Anything else?
Good job, Barbara.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Everybody,
Thank you,
Danelle,
Barbara.
Alicia, too, and Doreen.
we accomplished
Everybody.
a lot today, I think. We
So good. So happy to have you all involved back here again.
good.
Great.
Well, we're here to support you, Danelle. You know that.
I know you guys. I know. Here, so-
All right, then I would say that we've adjourned the meeting, and thank all of you for your participation. And
Thank you.
any thoughts that you have, please feel free to email them to me.